Hello and welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra!
Welcome to Crispo Limbo.
Woo! It's the perineum!
Where nothing feels real, but everything feels overly familiar.
Yeah.
It's a weird time of the year. Rich has just noticed I've kind of lost it because I forgot to mention the podcast in our introduction. So this is now the second time we've done this. It's going to be fine.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm so full.
I'm loving it. I've had Christmas cake for breakfast the last 3 days in a row.
It's weird, isn't it? It's really bizarre. I'm full. I've had so much cheese and meats and chocolate. And just like you, Rich, we've both got kind of like, I'm not got stomach issue things, and we have to be careful what we eat as in around rich food. And I tell myself every year, be sensible, Dave. Mm-hmm. And then every year I learn to regret it, and I somehow end up in pain.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like my thing that I've got, it basically doesn't make a difference what I do. Like, I could have the healthiest diet possible and it'll still kick me in the arse. Like, it doesn't care. But no, it is definitely worse if I have loads of rich food, though. That's true. But yeah, either way, it'll kick me, whatever I do.
And we
just got to wait for that little operation to make it all better.
Well, that's something to look forward to in the new year. But before then, should we tell the lovely listeners what we're doing?
Well, yeah, it's the monthly roundup, isn't it?
It is. It's the end of December, guys.
We talked about having a week off, and do you know what? We thought, no, we're dedicated to this podcast. We love our listeners. We're not having a week off. We're doing a December roundup.
Because it would have annoyed me if it wasn't on that last Friday and we're like, oh, let's do it in the first week of January. But my head wouldn't be able to like handle it, and I'd be like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
We've got to do it. We're doing it.
So here we are. So welcome, Rich. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Have you enjoyed the month? Do you remember what we did?
I mean, I have enjoyed the month. I always enjoy December because it's like lots of celebrations and stuff, isn't it? So, I'm not just talking about the chocolates. There's obviously lots of those as well. Do I remember what we did? No. Do I ever? Because we've been doing another slice stuff as well. That's all kind of melded into the extra episodes. So I should probably try and separate this in my brain. We did Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. We did Christmas Story Christmas.
Yes. 2 for 2.
Now, I want to say Muppet Christmas Carol, but I'm pretty sure that was on Extra Slice, right? That was on another slice. Yeah, not an extra slice. That's bad. We're going to give the Great British Bake Off more publicity than it needs.
Yeah.
What else did we do, Dave? Oh, Two Towers. The Two Towers.
Two Towers.
Is that it? Is that all of them?
No, one more.
There's one more.
Big old release last week.
Oh, of course. The blue fellas. Avatar, The Way of Water. How could I forget that? 3.
How could you not?
I mean, to be honest, it's really fucking forgettable. So, I was talking to my sister about it yesterday, and
Has she seen it?
No, she hasn't. She said, "Oh, we're going to go and see it, and don't spoil it for me." I was like, "I can't spoil it for you. It's exactly the fucking same as the first one. You've seen it already."
If you've seen the first one, you've seen that one. But please go and listen to that episode if you haven't seen it. We have had some people tell us some things, if I can find them.
Oh, nice. I always like it when people tell us some things.
Yes. Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag, really. Sam Clements from 90 Minutes or Less podcast, he just wrote 5 stars, no notes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. About our podcast about Avatar or about Avatar?
No, about the film.
Okay.
Film.
Oh, right.
Which is very different from what we said.
Sorry, Sam. I don't agree.
Oh, no, it's far from a 5-star film. And
looks beautiful.
Lots of notes.
Looks beautiful. And if it was an hour and a half less of boring nonsense, then I'd probably rate it a lot higher. But the truth is, it's overblown and it's got very little story.
Or who else? Phil Hobbs got in contact to tell me that he has no... Well, he's got in touch to me. He hasn't seen it. He has no real urge to see it. Seen the first one on opening weekend. It was a good watch and all, but didn't necessarily think I wanted to see more. So he hasn't even gone to see the second one.
That's fair. That's fair.
Fair. Keep going with that, mate. Paddy Armstrong. I introduced my girls to the original Avatar a few years ago, and they thought it's the best film they've seen. They weren't disappointed with 2. It's consistent with the original and good entertainment. Don't look too hard at the plot and enjoy not flawless, but worth 3D IMAX.
It is definitely consistent with the original, as in pretty much the same. So yeah.
Alex got in contact again. Tell me not he hasn't seen it, but he's going to wait until the new year. And he wasn't interested in the first, but the hype got to him, not to me. It would obviously got to me. The advanced technical of this movie makes me curious to see it, and that is the only reason to see it. To be honest, Alex.
The technical stuff is great. It's really good. It's a beautiful looking movie. But just don't expect anything of any interest story-wise.
Our friend Esteban got in contact as well. He says, "Hi chaps, I'm not a fan of 3D movies as they never work all the way through. You get bits that work, but never enough for the premium charged." I don't know about this one. I think you got your money's worth. At the start, the 3D meant that the bits of screen were blurry, including the subtitles of the Navi speech. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't get... No, it wasn't blurry for me. Maybe you need to see it 3D IMAX, potentially. Well, maybe that's the difference.
Once they found themselves in water, the 3D came into its own, but even though they're not enough to make the truly worth 3D experience, I disagree with that.
I think he's right about most movies. I think this one is... I think Avatar is probably the exception to the rule, in that I really saw the value of the 3D in this.
Yeah.
But so, for example, if you're talking about like Wakanda Forever that I watched in 3D, after the first couple of minutes, I didn't even notice any 3D. Essentially,
some films are just pointless in 3D.
Yeah, absolutely. But Avatar, definitely worth it.
He makes a point here. I don't mind the runtime, but surprised to see parents with under 5s in the screening. Mate, that's not good.
They are brave parents taking under 5s to like.
Talking about knowing how a scene is going to play out. Of course, they didn't last the distance.
No,
of course they
not.
Didn't.
No kid should be put through a 3.25 hour movie, however long it is. Like 4 hours with trailers. We discovered.
It's too long.
It's too long.
Yes. Something from Alex Powell. Rich often says that if a child gets hurt, killed during the opening of a movie, it won't be a good movie. I dislike it when a sequel goes out its way to change the growth of the previous movie. My recent example is Zombieland 2. Opens 10 years later and nobody has grown further and break up the lead characters as the movie opens. Even though you know they're going to get back together and doesn't move the plot at all. Just need leave Little Rock to leave Little Rock to leave the group. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I get it.
What are the most disliked tropes or sins of a sequel?
I mean, for me, the sins of a sequel are, like you say, a big time gap and no growth for characters because it's just not realistic, and just recreating what you've done before without any kind of, without any kind of originality. Like churning out the same old thing you've always done it's always the red flag for me.
Yeah, I really hate it when they spend a long time getting something and then straight away they lose that something, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
It's like in Men in Black 2, when they go and get all the guns from the Worms apartment.
Yeah.
And they make a big deal of like getting all the guns and then they instantly walk into the doors of the MIB building and they all get blown away and they've got no guns.
Yeah.
That really winds me up.
I mean, I think that's a useful device for comedy, but it's got to be done really properly. It can't be just a hatchet job. Yeah. So there you go.
He also asked, just listen to the Sam Clements episode and you mentioned your school day haunt Odeon. I also had an Odeon in Worthing, which also now ceased to be. You also mentioned the chairs being close to the screen, which reminded me when I went there to watch the original Tron on my own, age 14. Well, that must have been trippy. Really excited with my face nearly touching the actors. I then went home and threw up. Have you ever had an unexpected reaction to a movie? I like this one.
Oh, that is interesting. I can understand why Tron would make you throw up if you were right next to the screen.
Yeah, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
I've got one. Cloverfield. Do you remember the original Cloverfield when it was all running around like it's a news report? I had to leave after half an hour because it gave me motion sickness and then give myself a little bit of a talking to because it was just making me feel really sick.
Yeah.
I got through it, but it was like I was on a boat. That's
I can imagine.
That's how it made me feel.
127 hours. You know,
yeah.
So watching that for the first time, and there's kind of, it's like, it was more like the sound effect when he's kind of cutting through the nerves.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what happened then, but you broke up and I smacked my microphone by accident. So we might want to cut that bit out. But yeah, so yeah, 127 hours where he's kind of cutting through the nerves. There's a sound effect, and that sound effect genuinely made me feel like I was going to throw up. Like I have no idea where I had to kind of like pause the movie because I wasn't watching it in the cinema. I was watching it at home with my flatmate who was laughing at me, and I go like, I've got to take a break for a minute, and I'll come back to it.
It's just too much.
It wasn't good.
It's quite a good film, 127 hours, and the bit when he decides to cut his arm off. Spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've not seen it, I wouldn't recommend watching it. It's a great film, but it'll make you want to throw up.
The whole thing's built around the film, even though the marketing was also like built around that moment, and the trailers are kind of built.
It's a
around
true
that
story
moment.
as well, so I think this, the story's out there, isn't it? But yeah.
Exactly, he cut his own arm off and survives.
Yeah,
It was James Franco, so.
Well, if anyone deserves it, then
But I believe that's all from our correspondence.
Lovely. If we missed anyone, we're really sorry. Give us a shout and we'll make sure we mention you next time.
I'm trying to get better at sorting out, because we have some come through from email, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
And I just, sometimes on Twitter, things get lost, to be honest. And I apologise. But they're the ones that I remembered. I don't think we had anything on the... Oh, someone did say about the Two Towers. Hang on. At Jurassic Site B said that the Two Towers, one of the best films of all time. The Battle of Helm's Deep is just brilliant, and I agreed with him.
Correct.
Someone disagreed with me somewhere and said it was overrated, and I
What?
I remember being angry at them, but I don't know where that is.
I understand that Lord of the Rings as a whole is not everybody's cup of tea. I get that, and I can get why I do understand that, but it's not overrated.
Someone said it doesn't hold up on our lovely man Mike, who gives us a nice push every week.
Yeah.
He said he rewatched it as well, and then someone under his conversation said it doesn't hold up. I'm not going to give that person any light of day.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, shut up, Watch.
Okay, fair enough. You've touched a nerve, whoever you are.
I think that you can say a lot of things about Lord of the Rings. You can say about Two Towers, and you can say it's long.
It definitely holds up.
And not holding up is definitely not in there. I mean, yes, the CGI does age, but this is now 20 years old, and it still looks better than a lot of films that come out nowadays. I'm looking at you, Marvel, mainly. Thank you for everyone who sends things in. Keep them coming. Rich will give out everything you have to send them later on in the episode.
Oh,
I don't want to take his jobs away from him. But we should swiftly move on to the news section. So, Rich, news section. Do you want... Oh, my God, I've got so many things open. 1, 2, 3, 4... And I'm going to round up a big number 5, so maybe we'll keep that until last.
Okay. Number 2? Start with 2?
Number 2. Okay, this is... I don't know if you've seen the original film. Reese Witherspoon starring in election sequel, Tracy Flick will return.
Oh.
Do you remember watching Election?
Yeah, I've seen it. I
film?
like Election. That's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good one. I haven't seen it in a while, but I can't actually remember the end of the film and thinking, oh, I can't wait to see more of that or that character. I mean, she was brilliant in it. I mean, Matthew Broderick was in it as well.
Matthew Broderick's the teacher, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great film. But yeah, she's coming back. A sequel is now in its way and called Tracy Flick Can't Win. With Payne and co-writer return. Well, yeah, they're all returning.
Okay.
They will adapt the election. So it's a novel. Did you know that?
I didn't know it was a novel, no.
No, it is the adaptation of the election novelist Tom Perotti's follow-up book, which arrived this past June. Oh, man, this is amazing. The story will pick up Tracy in adulthood as she continues to struggle to fight her way to the top at work. Now in her 40s, she's an assistant principal at a public high school in suburban New Jersey who is gunning for her boss's job as he plans to retire.
Interesting.
it sounds quite good when that plot. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good.
So basically, the plot of Election is she's like the perfect high school girl, right? And she's running to be class president. And Matthew Broderick's the teacher, and basically like tries to cheats the election to knock her down a peg or two, right?
It's Chris Klein,
Chris
isn't it?
Klein, yeah, is the guy she's running against.
I wanted to say Josh Hartnett for a minute, but
no, it's Chris Klein. I can see we get the two. They do look quite similar, but it's Chris Klein playing Chris Klein, essentially, like the same role that he has in every movie, the kind of nice but slightly bumbly jock.
Yeah. I remember quite liking Election, and I always forget that and Rushmore muddled up for some reason sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
just because
I
it's about a student and a teacher and not kind of liking each other kind of thing. Okay, well, that's exciting. I like Reese Witherspoon. I think she's puts out some good films.
Agreed,
definitely, this is one of her stronger, more memorable roles, along with The Legally Blonde Woman. And I believe there's a sequel of that coming, even though I'd rather tear my eyes out than watch that again. So you've done 2. So 1, 3, 4.
1, please.
Okay. We finally got a teaser to Scream 6. Have you watched this?
No.
This is why I wanted to bring it up.
I'm not going to either.
Now, famously, Scream 6 hasn't got Neve Campbell in it, or Neve, however you want to say it.
Hence pointless.
And Rich is a big fan of her.
I am. Yeah.
It is a big pointless film without her, I think. And this one's finally moved out of Woodsboro, and it's going to be set in it's going to be set in New York. And the teaser is a clip on a crowded train, again on Halloween, I believe, and lots of people are dressed up as the character from Stab, and the lights keep coming on and off, and they keep getting closer to our returning heroes from the last movie, but without the original members. So first Scream film without the original members. So last one was kind of like a passing of the torch and like a Force Awakens kind of thing. Then we're going to have to review this. Oh, Courtney Cox is back.
Oh, yeah. Great.
So Courtney Cox is back as what Gail Weathers. Hayden Panettiere is bringing back Kirby Reed from Scream 4. And then you've got a load of people from the last one. How does that make you feel now? Come on. And it's coming out this year. It's coming out in 2003. So this is 23.
It's coming out in 2003?
Shut
Excellent.
up.
I've missed it by 10 years. 20 years even.
20 years. So it's only had a year from filming to release.
It's going to be shit, Dave. It's going to be awful, and I don't want to watch it. But you're going to make me because it's funny.
I'm looking forward to your response. It might be really good. I mean, I've watched the trailer.
Do you know what? It might be really good, and I will eat. If it's really good, I will eat my words. But my feeling is it's going to be shit.
There's a new poster as well. Do you know what the tagline is?
Oh, it's not really Scream.
No, it's New York, new rules. Come on, that's quite good, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's rubbish.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not. One, it's not in Woodsboro. 2, it's not got Sydney in it. It's not a Scream movie basically anymore, is it? It's just,
Well, you got to carry on the franchise at some point without the original members.
I understand that, and that's sort of okay. But the reason I'm more upset about it is because Sydney is alive in the last one. She is, Neve Campbell is available. She said she wanted to be part of this, and the reason she isn't is because they wouldn't give her the money that she deserves, essentially.
Yeah.
So this movie can get in the bin as far as I'm concerned.
I kind of agree. I actually agree with everything you just said. The girl is she's due her payday.
Yeah, definitely.
At this point, she is Scream, like Jamie Lee Curtis's Halloween. You can't imagine one without the other kind.
And
I'm
I'm fine with moving on, new characters and new stories and stuff, but don't wreck.
There's got to be a passing of the torch moment.
It actually makes me angrier that Courtney Cox is in it, because that's not moving on with new characters, is it?
You're
it's
right.
Still harking back.
God.
So not looking forward to it, Dave.
I've closed the window now, but I imagine
I'm looking
it's going to
forward
be around
to renewing
Halloween.
it. Yeah, it'll be around Halloween. Yeah,
if they got any marketing sense.
Looking forward to talking about it on the podcast when that happens.
What numbers have I got left? Definitely
4 and 3, I think.
4 and 3?
Yeah, let's go with 4.
4. This is a nice, quick, easy one. The Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel has a new director, so it's no longer going to be Jason Reitman. He is Reitman. I was so close. He is now passing it over to who the co-writer of the first film, that is Gil Keenan. There was rumours that this is still currently slated for release in 2023.
Okay.
But
interesting.
Does it worry you that you haven't got...
A little bit, but we'll see. I mean, talking of how to hand over to a new cast, essentially, I think that, Ghostbusters Afterlife is a good example of how to hand over to a new cast.
Yeah, because all that cast are going to come back now. You've got Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, Finn Wolfhard, and Paul Rudd. They're all coming back. I'm still not quite sure if all the original Ghostbusters are going to be back now. I
don't think it matters if they do.
Ernie Hudson will, because he's the one who put all the money in. Do you remember at the end of the last one?
Yeah,
he built the townhouse back or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it totally matters if they do or they don't come back, because they built those characters in the first one really strongly. They didn't do that in Scream. They relied a lot of the heavy lifting in Scream 5 is done by the original cast, and the new characters are just periphery characters essentially.
There was a nice passing off the torch moment.
Yeah, apart from basically the killers, and they're not in it anymore, surprisingly. Yeah, so I think that's the difference, isn't it? Really, is that they've not had the passing of the torch bit. So yeah, let's have a look. Let's see.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for
the first one was good.
Afterlife.
So,
yeah. I don't know if I'll cry as much in this one, because the gap is not going to be as big. A year and a bit.
And it's not going to be I don't think it's going to be so much of a legacy sequel, this one, is it? It's going to be a sequel to Afterlife, not a sequel to Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's not going to rely so much on the those characters from Ghostbusters 1, as in the creatures as well. Unless they bring Slimer back. All for that.
You never know.
Okay, number 4. Do you want to know what that is?
Should be number 3. That one's number 4.
Oh, number 3.
Go on then.
I should have made this one number 4, because the title is Jackie Chan says Rush Hour 4 is still in the works.
No! Rush Hour 3 stank. Stank bad.
There's a lot going against Rush Hour 4. One, Jackie Chan, as amazing he is, I feel like he's due retirement.
Yeah, isn't he knocking on 70 now?
He can't do the stunts anymore.
Surely not.
Love Jackie Chan, love all his old films, a lot of them. But I now feel like, mate, take it easy. We don't want you to get hurt, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how funny it will be with Chris Tucker. I don't think they can have Brett Ratner back, because again, he's a naughty boy.
Yeah.
He's a little bit in the doghouse at the moment. And do you want a Rush Hour 4? I mean, I like Rush Hour 1 and 2.
1 and 2 are good. I mean, I guess they could pretend 3 never happened, and this is the third of the trilogy, and we just put 3 in the bin and never mention it again.
3's when they go to Paris, right?
Yeah, it sucks.
I do remember it not having the feel or flavour of a Rush Hour. It felt like it was kind of like a Diet Coke version.
Yeah.
And I remember there's a woman who has a map on her head. Is that?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But I do remember it being
all
bad.
I can remember is watching it, quite like you say, liking the first 2 and thinking this is a good franchise in the making, and then watching the third one and being like, no, I was wrong. This is rubbish.
Do you think the first 2 hold up as well? Because it's kind of a different time, and some of the
watched them for a long time.
The language.
I don't know. Yeah, I think there's probably a lot that doesn't hold up, but I don't know. I need to watch them
Jackie
back
Chan
and find out.
kicking people is always fun.
Jackie Chan's style of kind of, drunken master fighting, like looking like he's about, he's doing everything wrong, but actually kicking everyone's ass. I kind of love that.
And it's the only film where Chris Tucker hasn't been an annoying twat.
Yeah, I don't think I remember seeing Chris Tucker in many other things.
Friday?
Oh, yeah, Friday. Of course, I love Friday.
Fifth Element's another one.
Fifth Element, yeah, that's true.
Silver Playbook, whatever it's called, with
Silver Linings Playbook.
Thank you, he's in that. Bradley Cooper's best friend.
Oh, he is, isn't he? This is why I'm rubbish at this stuff. It's because I was like, I don't think I've seen Chris Tucker in anything else apart from all the things he's been in. It would seem.
Well, Fifth Element, that character works, but
yeah, but that's just
he does love to shout. That's what I would say in his films. He's also in Jackie Brown, isn't he? A little bit.
Is he?
Have I imagined that?
I don't know, because I watched Jackie Brown at the cinema and I haven't seen it since. Not because I didn't like it, but just because I just haven't watched it again.
It does seem I know we're going off,
sure.
but it does seem the one Tarantino people don't return to. I mean, a lot of people go back to Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs.
I haven't either of them, to be be honest.
What?
I know. I will do that. I have a Tarantino rewatch. You know, I've seen all of them, but I've never gone back to a Tarantino movie. The only, in fact, it doesn't even really count because Tarantino's in it rather than like directing it. But the only Tarantino movie I've gone back to is Dusk Till Dawn, because I really like that movie, and he's in it and dies in about 5 minutes. I love the switcheroo, essentially.
There's no better film that does that than Dusk Till Dawn. Goes from one genre to the other. A lot have tried, but that switch really is just so good in that film.
Yeah.
Right, so now we get to the big number 5. Now, hopefully, I don't know how much you've kept your eye on the ball on this.
Not at all.
But the whole, and we talked about it quite often. And last month we talked about Henry Cavill, returning as Superman.
Oh, I have seen this actually.
He is no longer returning as Superman.
I think that's really sad.
I think there's a bit of. So basically, James Gunn and Peter Safran. Sorry, Peter, if I get your name wrong, please don't bar me from your screenings. Have taken over the DC universe, and in the last month they've announced a lot of things that are happening and not happening. Now, one of them that's not happening is Henry Cavill coming as Superman. Another thing happening is Wonder Woman 3 is not happening anymore with Patty Jenkins. No news of what they do with Gal Gadot.
Is it not happening with Patty Jenkins or not happening full stop? Because if it's not happening with Patty Jenkins, that's a fucking stupid move. If it's not happening full stop, I think it's fine.
Patty Jenkins is definitely not happening. I think they're wiping the whole of that slate of Superman, Wonder Woman.
I think that's fair.
And it's I find it funny because we are getting an Aquaman 3 and a Flash movie, and I think that's going to be the end of all that.
Yeah, I think good. I'm not going to lie. I think it all deserves to die. We're getting a second Shazam movie, aren't we?
Yes. So he's come out.
Zachary Levi.
Thank you, Zachary Levi. Yeah, and he says he doesn't know what's going on. I think they're going to wait and see how Shazam 2 does. I think that will go the same as Aquaman and Flash. Maybe Flash is obviously a whole different talking point, and
we can talk about this
God
later. Flash.
What's going to happen with that?
Yeah.
Black Adam.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was going to say. We can talk about Black Adam maybe later because I've watched it now.
Well, have you seen what happened the other day with him?
No, I haven't.
The Rock and James Gunn have had a conversation.
Right.
And Black Adam isn't moving forward in the first chapter of the new DC universe. It doesn't even say that they're going to work down the road. But I thought The Rock was trying to make a play, really. Before this all came out, the new power, he wanted to get his hands on the whole of that. That's why they pulled in the Superman cameo.
Yeah.
And he was and he's so vocal. And I like. How do you feel about The Rock at the moment?
I used to really like The Rock. I used to think he was a bit of a breath of fresh air, and now it feels a little bit like he's kind of turned into this self-promotion machine. And maybe he always was that, and I just didn't see it. But it certainly feels like I notice it now.
Yeah.
You know?
He brings out the same lines for every film that he's releasing. Like the Red Notice, it had the same talk about like Black Adam did. And now he's filming this new Christmas film called Red One, and you can just see the talking of it. He's like, "Oh, we're changing the way," and blah de blah, and and then drink my tequila and my energy drink kind of thing. I think he played it wrong with Black Adam. I mean, he did wait a long time to play that role, and I think we'll get to it later. But I when it happened and then James Gunn took over, I was like, this is not going to go well.
No.
Because once you start saying Henry's not coming back as Superman, then instantly you're like, well, they just promised us, like, there's the end of this teaser. Is this another universe now? Is this what's going to happen? And it looks like, no, it's just James Gunn's is writing a new Superman film, which sounds like it's going to be a little bit of an origin story. It's definitely going to concentrate on his younger life.
Just bin it all. I can sort of completely understand the idea behind just binning it all off and starting again, because that's sort of what it needs.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And hopefully it rises again like a phoenix.
Yeah. And not like a turd that won't flush.
Hopefully. And hopefully the fans give a chance, because you know how the Snyder Bros
fuck
are
the
still
Snyder
there.
Bros. Go on. if you're listening, Snyder Bros, piss off. No one cares.
Just come on. Let's see what happens. We can't. Yeah. There's so much bad water under whatever the bridge now, whatever the slogan is.
Yeah.
It's now just better to move on. And I mean, it is a shame, because I like Henry as Superman. I was excited. I was excited when he turned up as a cameo, and I thought I'd like to see that film when The Rock and him go head to head. But now we're just going to add that to the list of films that were promised, and it's never going to happen. So one day, hopefully, we can talk about it if someone picks their dream sequel as Black Adam 2.
Yeah.
I mean, who would, right?
No one. We'll talk. Like I say, we'll talk about that when we talk about movies we've watched, because, yeah.
But it is a shame about the whole Patty Jenkins thing, because I think we talked about it ages ago. Do you remember when we had Fiona on in series 1, and she picked number 2 as her worst ever sequel? And it is a bad sequel, guys. There's no getting around it.
So your watch going off again.
What the fuck is going on?
No, it is a bad sequel, but...
And we talked about if she would be allowed to carry on.
But she should be allowed to carry on.
And how men
do
get the chance to carry on, and
women don't.
Don't.
It's really frustrating.
We called it, though. We called it like a year and a bit ago.
Still sad, though, isn't it?
Quite sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I just realised we didn't do a jingle. You know, that's quite sad for sequel news.
Sequel news.
Sequel news.
But that's all the news for the December news. Basically, a lot of it was Warner Brothers. Every day something was new. They've got like some other films coming. There's a Blue Beetle film. Do you know anything about this character?
No, is that like the Tick, or like
No, but I think he's in the realm of. I've seen a child's cartoon on TV one day, and there was a character called the Blue Beetle with Batman.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know a lot of DC. I know there's loads of DC fans out there. I'm not one of them, really. I was definitely more of a Marvel than a DC fan when I was
I always
a
liked
kid.
Batman, but I liked the games. I never went deep.
No, I never even went into the games, really. I liked Tim Burton's Batman. So I sort of got into Batman when around sort of Tim Burton time. But as a kid, I was more Spider-Man.
I liked Batman forever.
Well,
anyway, shall we
someone
move
had
on?
to.
Bastard.
Yeah, what should we move on to?
Movie Club.
Movie Club. So yeah, sequels.
Yeah.
Sequels first.
Yeah, let's do sequels first.
I have actually watched 2 sequels.
Are they Christmas ones?
No.
Okay.
I'm not including Christmas ones. I'm going to do Christmas ones separately.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got my 12 movies of Christmas I just wanted to run through.
Okay, let's do your other ones then first.
But yeah, so I watched, finally, because it was free and I didn't have to pay anything for it, so she's not getting any money out of me, The Secrets of Dumbledore.
You've finally seen it?
Finally seen it. It's rubbish, isn't it? It stinks. Like, it's really boring.
It's better than the second one, though, in my eyes.
Is it? I don't think it's better than the second one, no. I think the second one's better. The second one held my attention longer, I think, than the third one.
No, I quite enjoyed Mads Mikkelsen as this.
I enjoyed Mads Mikkelsen, but I think this is the only movie I've seen him in where I didn't think he was that great. Like, I don't know. Like,
Well, good news. They're not going to move on with any more. That's it now.
What a shame.
But the end of that film still feels like it hasn't ended.
It felt so badly written. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's not got an ending, has it?
Nope.
No. It's really that. I think the whole 3 Fantastic Beasts.
It's just a waste of time.
Feel really badly written, which is a shame because I think the character of Newt is an interesting character. So it's a character who, to me, appears to be neurologically diverse. You know, I think, and that's an interesting. You know, he's not the same as everyone else, is he? He's different.
Yeah.
And he certainly sets himself apart in terms of other wizards and also, you know, and other like non-wizards. And I think he's an interesting character, but just don't do anything with him. Like he's just there.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He's just there.
How did you think they dealt with the Catherine Watterson?
She's that's just weird, isn't it? Yeah. That's very strange.
At least in this one, they did try and make one of the Fantastic Beasts central to the plot. Which was the deer thing.
Yeah.
But then there's other characters that are absolutely pointless as well. The guy who is meant to go undercover, what's his name?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what his name is. Lestrange. But yeah, he's pointless.
Pointless.
Yeah.
I still like Dan Fogel. Is that character?
I think everyone likes Dan Fogel. Yeah, I like Dan Fogel. I think every time he takes a shot and goes, ah! I
finally gave him a wand. It was great fun.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, man, that whole...
And he sat talking to the kids at Hogwarts, and he's like showing them his wand, and they're like, "Oh, can we ever go?" And he's like, "No." Nope.
It's how they keep putting them back at Hogwarts because that's what people want to see.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's just not good. It's just not a good film. It's the writing is really poor, I would say.
I've watched it 2-3 times now because I watched it once when it was in the cinema, and then I watched it again on the plane when I went to Canada in the summer, and it hasn't. And then I saw it popped up the other day, and I asked my wife, who's a massive Harry Potter fan, I was like, do you want to fancy watching it again? And she was like, no way, no.
No, my wife doesn't. My wife's a big Harry Potter fan, and she doesn't want to watch it. She says they're not magical enough. And I think she's probably right.
She's probably right. It's not interesting magic anyway, if that makes sense. Some of the choices they make in that last film is just
I think my son will like them. The first one, I would say.
First one is now starting to look, compared to the other two, a proper decent film.
Yeah, because he's very much he likes the creatures. So much so that he said to me the other day, we got him a Lego Harry Potter set that he really, really wanted, which is like the Chamber of Secrets, which is his favourite film. It's got the basilisk in it.
Yeah.
And we were building it, and he went, "Daddy, how is Harry Potter the good guy when he made the basilisk go extinct?" And I was like, "You have a good point, son."
He blinded it as well first. He didn't even...
Yeah. Blinded it and then murdered it.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, the first one, Fantastic, is good. Plus, Colin Farrell's in it, and he should have been the bad guy throughout all of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think.
He's much better than Johnny Depp. I'm going to talk about Colin Farrell in a little bit.
Okay. And what's next? Anything else?
Glass Onion. It's the other sequel I've watched.
Well, yes.
But we're not going to talk about that. If you want to hear us talk about Glass Onion, you're going to have to go to anotherslice.com/unequal sequel and hit that subscribe button, because we'll have a nice review of Glass Onion on there.
In the next week, I reckon.
Yeah, in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Because Dave needs to watch it.
I do need to watch it. I'm really desperate to watch it.
He hasn't watched it yet.
No.
I watched it the day it came out on my birthday.
I really want to. I'm desperate.
I tell you what, I really enjoyed it. There you go. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, no, people have said very positive things, and I really like Knives Out, so I really want to see it.
Yeah, I need to watch Knives Out again, because the first time I watched it, I wasn't that over the moon with it. But
I loved it.
I need to watch it again, because I think I might have just been having a bad day.
I think Daniel Craig in that role is just superb.
Yeah,
I can watch him just read the dictionary.
He appears to be enjoying that role.
Yeah,
I would say.
I can imagine he would.
What about you, Dave? Any sequels?
The only sequel of worthy merit I can talk about is I got the in-laws to watch Top Gun 2 again.
Nice.
And it still holds up, and they couldn't sleep afterwards because they were so excited by it. Too juiced up because of it. Yeah.
Excellent.
And they're fans of the first one, and I was like, well, we're going to have to watch the second one now. And they loved it. And that's the only sequel, apart from I watched Home Alone 2 and Home Alone.
Yeah.
I'm just my yearly reminder that Home Alone 2 is and always will be better than Home Alone 1.
You're on your own on that one, mate.
No, there's a few of us out there. I was watching, I think this is just so much better. And I love the first one. Like, first one's a very good film, but I think just Home Alone is a bigger and better sequel.
Okay.
Any other films you watch now?
Film Club. I've got my 12 movies of Christmas.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
So every year I watch 12 Christmas movies in the 12 days running up to Christmas. I started a bit early this year and sort of spread them out a bit more. But kicked off with Elf, was by accident because I happened to be at my dad's house and they put Elf on. And so I was like, right, this is kicking off the 12 movies. And then Christmas Chronicles. Christmas Chronicles I watched. The first one, not the sequel. The sequel's not very good. The first one's really good.
First one is really good.
Muppet Christmas Carol, we've already talked about that on another slice.
Another slice. That is another slice.
I watched a new one called Your Christmas or Mine with Asa Butterfield in it.
I watched it, Rich.
I liked it.
I loved it.
I really liked it.
I really enjoyed it. I loved everyone. I thought that was just a really sweet, funny, well put together Christmas movie.
Yeah, agreed.
And the kids, the girl's really good. Asa Butterfield and Daniel Mays is really good. Mars, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Daniel Mays. Yeah, he's always good.
I was really pleasant.
It's pleasant, isn't it? It is a nice Christmas movie.
When you read the bio, it does sound like it's going to be a bit hallmarky.
Yeah.
But no, they spent a little bit of money on it. It's cute. I really enjoyed it.
Lots of shots of Marylebone Station, which is the station in London that I used to go through to get home. So it sort of made me feel quite a bit Christmassy because obviously when I was living in London, Marylebone would be the station I'd go to go home for Christmas. So yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's it. It doesn't go to either of the places they go to, by the way.
I can see that. Okay, next one.
It's a Wonderful Life. Probably the best Christmas movie of all time.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. Sure? It's wonderful. It's in the title.
It's in the title, sure.
Your two favourite Christmas movies, The Santa Claus and The Santa Claus 2.
Oh, you went for both of them.
I went for both, yeah.
I watched the start of The Santa Claus, and then I walked out the room. I found something better to do with my time.
Watched Home Alone with my son, which he giggles at and jumps up and down excitedly every time.
It's brilliant.
I watched Deck the Halls. Have you seen Deck the Halls?
Yes, that is also.
Broderick earlier.
I did. That was on in a room I was in at one point this Christmas as well.
It's not one of my. I don't know if it's my favourite, but I like Danny DeVito in it.
Yes.
And I watched Christmas Vacation. If you listen to our Christmas episode, you know we've watched that. But I watched it before we decided what we were doing for our Christmas episode because my wife hadn't seen Christmas Vacation, so I got her to watch it. I watched Spirited. Which again, you need to go, if you want to hear about Spirited, you have to go onto anotherslice.com/unequal sequel. Yeah. And I also watched The Grinch because, again, my son loved it. The animated one, not the Jim Carrey one.
But say which one. Yeah, they're all good. I watched the Jim Carrey one, and that every year gets better because I keep appreciating Jim Carrey's devotion to that character so much each year.
No, he's really good.
He just goes really good. Like beans to the wall kind of.
I came in from work one day and my son and my wife were both watching the Jim Carrey one, so I saw about the last 20 minutes or so of it. But yeah, I didn't watch all of it, so I'm not counting it.
You also have watched the Christmas Vacation 2, Eddie's Island Adventure.
Again, wasn't counting that. Wasn't counting that because it's barely a Christmas movie. So yeah, that's not in there. But yeah, that's my 12 movies of Christmas. But in terms of other movies, I've watched a few. Obviously, had some time off and stuff.
I'm very jealous of you.
So it's time that I get to watch some movies. So I watched Amsterdam. I know David O. Russell is an awful person.
A host of newer films dropped on Disney Plus and stuff.
Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't love it. I thought it was okay, but I don't know if you've seen it, Dave. But no, I didn't. I sort of get why people are going a bit crazy for it, but it wasn't for me. It didn't get me. One I did really like was See How They Run. Have you heard of that one?
Yes, I did watch that one.
Yeah.
I like that. Yes. Sam Rockwell. Cast.
Yeah, brilliant cast, yeah. It's a fun kind of murder mystery romp. It's nice how they kind of build it into the Mousetrap.
So Saoirse Ronan?
Yeah, Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah, thank you.
And Charlie Day. Not Charlie Day.
Definitely not Charlie Day's in that.
What's his name? God.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
He looks like Blonde Rich. From Charlie Cooper.
Oh, yes.
Let's try that one again.
I don't know how you got Charlie Day from all that.
Well, it's Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Charlie Cooper, not Charlie Day. Charlie Cooper, who is also very good in it. Although I did kind of...
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah.
Saw that coming about a mile off.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I watched Strange World, which
This is
you
the one
watched as well.
I saw this as well. I saw it yesterday, day before. The big old Disney bomb this year. And then
yesterday or Boxing Day, I think it was. I watched it.
This was only on cinemas, 3 weeks ago. Now it's all suddenly on Disney Plus. What did you think?
I think it's all right. My son really enjoyed it.
It's colourful.
And he thought it was really interesting. He really liked the fact that they were like inside a body. Sorry, spoilers for anyone's
Spoilers, yeah.
They were inside a body, essentially, and their island was alive, and they were living on a living creature kind of thing. And
did you feel like it was meant to be like a Lost in Space kind of feel?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it's sort of a commentary on how we treat our planet now.
Yes,
if we thought of our planet as a living thing, the power that we generate is actually killing the living thing that we live on.
Wow,
that's kind of the allegory, I think, in the movie.
You should have been part of their marketing department, Rich, because they had no idea how to market this film.
But I think it's a better movie than you think it is at first go.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and I also watched Banshees of Inisherin.
I really want to see this one. I really want to see it.
It's weird in a really good way. Like, it is. I mean, it's. I don't even know how to describe it to you, Dave. It's like it's
Martin McDowell, isn't it? Is that the director of like Free Billboards and stuff like that?
Yeah, and Nomadland, I think. Nomadland?
No,
I don't know. Anyway, it's and it's basically about two guys who live on a remote Irish island in 1923 when the Irish Civil War is going on. And they are like best friends. They go to the pub every day until one day, out of the blue, one of them decides he doesn't want to be friends with the other one anymore. And
right.
It's all that kind of stems from that, about him trying to figure out why he doesn't want to be friends with him anymore, and then it going kind of a bit crazy from there. Is
it a comedy? Because again, the marketing of this one is
exceptionally dark comedy. I think it is a comedy. It's farcical, but it's incredibly dark.
Is it in Oscar contention? Like, is it awards? Is it award chasing?
I think Colin Farrell could be.
Yeah,
I think his performance is great. I don't know. Maybe
you've seen a lot more of these films this year than I have, like the award films.
Yeah, maybe.
So you're best positioned to tell me.
I don't know if it's Oscar-y enough.
What about the screenplay? Because Martin McDowell normally, like in Bruges,
screenplay,
well.
maybe the screenplay, because that is it's very interesting. It's a very interesting film, but it's not a film you're going to come out and
By
go,
the way,
that was fun.
No Man Land was Chloe Zhao.
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry,
you're thinking Three Billboards, but it's still
Billboards. Yeah,
Francis McDonald.
McDormand.
McDonald.
But yeah, you're not going to come out of this movie and go, "Oh, that was fun. I enjoyed that." You're going to come out of it going, "Wow, that was different."
Well, I laughed though.
Yeah,
I can't convince the in-laws and my wife.
It's not a belly laugh. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not one you're going to watch with your in-laws.
Okay.
If they all go to bed early one night, then that's when you're going to watch it. Right?
Okay. Cool.
Or maybe like slope off to your office to watch it on your own or something.
Oh, I like that. The nice TVs downstairs. I like 4K. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
I really want to get onto TV Club to ask you a question.
Yeah, go on then. Let's get on. Have you watched any movies though?
Apparently not. I watched Elvis. I rewatched Elvis.
Oh yeah, I need to watch Elvis.
And I'm going to let you borrow it. And it's still one of my favourite films of the year. I think it absolutely bangs.
Of course, I watched Black Adam. Sorry, I forgot Black Adam.
We have to talk about Black Adam.
We have to talk
Yes,
about
because
Black
you've got a
Adam.
screener of Black Adam.
I got a screener, a home cinema screener. Thank you, Warner Brothers, for that. Because I didn't see it at the cinema.
No.
But I got to see it early before it came out for everyone else got to see it at home. And I thought it was fine.
That's exactly how I felt.
It's this...
I've spent worse 2 hours.
Basically a couple of hours of smashy.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same as every other superhero movie, basically, isn't it? Like, there's nothing groundbreaking.
Rocker's a good / bad guy. Do anything for you in that world?
I mean, I guess it's what you get if you try and make a whole movie about a Shazam bad guy. Like, that's the character of Black Adam is basically a baddie in the Shazam comics.
I was a bit confused about, I don't know how to attack this process, because where the world's meant to be in, The Rock still looks Samoan, if that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's a Middle East, but maybe when he was a slave back in the day, they were from all over the place.
Nah, I don't think so.
I really enjoyed the music in Black Adam. I enjoyed Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. I enjoyed the guy playing Hawkman. I liked that whole team.
Didn't care about any of them though.
Well, I feel like
there was a whole thing about like, everyone being sad about someone dying and stuff, and I was like,
you're missing the movie
you've not
somewhere.
made me. You've not made that bit where I give a shit.
Yeah, Again, DC,
another DC movie
trying to run before it can walk.
Absolutely.
And the Rock tried very hard to get this off the ground.
Yeah,
and like we said in our news segment that it probably is now going to lead nowhere.
Stop trying to make Black Adam happen.
Yeah, I'm glad you watched it.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched it. I was definitely not blown away by it.
It's definitely not the worst thing I've ever seen, though.
No, it's not. It's not. It's like I say, it's fine.
I mean,
It's
and a
just
lot of things
fine.
go bang in it. A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of smashy.
Yeah. If you like Smashy, watch it.
Yeah.
Should we go to TV Club?
Let's do this.
TV Club. Basically, the big question I've been dying to ask you for like 2 months now is, have you finally finished Walking Dead?
Yes, I have.
Rich is a big Walking Dead fan.
Caveat.
Oh, Christ.
Basically, it sets up like 3 more spin-offs.
Yeah, but it's still got to have an ending, right? Is it Lost ending? Is it better or worse?
No, it's way better than a Lost ending. It's better than a Lost ending, but essentially they use the ending to very much set up Rick Grimes, a Michonne kind of thing,
Yeah.
and a Daryl and Carol kind of thing as well, I think.
Were you
So
satisfied?
it's-
Because you've been watching this for a long time now.
I was
Rich.
kind of satisfied, yeah.
Has it been worth all your time?
Yes, because I've really enjoyed most of it.
Okay.
But I don't think I was ever going to be truly satisfied because I don't want it to end, particularly. So I don't think I was ever going to find it truly satisfying until like every fucking zombie's dead and they've rebuilt society, and then I'll be like, okay, we can move on now.
You watch the other spin-offs, like The Fear of the Walking Dead?
No, I haven't. But maybe I'll go back and watch those.
Well, 7 years deep now, that one. That's seven seasons deep.
Maybe I'll go back.
And then there's another one on
throw
Amazon
myself
Prime,
down
I
that
think.
rabbit hole. Is there another Walking Dead one on Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
But and then the movies are coming or something or other.
Yeah. I'm certainly in it. I'm certainly in that.
When was
universe.
its peak, out of your interest? When was the
Series
best?
4, 5? I think when Negan came in.
You
basically.
reckon that's when it got good?
I think that's when it peaked.
That's when I
potentially.
left.
Oh, okay, right. Was that too much for you? Was it?
It was too much for my wife,
Okay.
and then it came more of a chore to try and catch up with it for me.
Right. Okay. But that's more circumstance than it is for.
Maybe
The
I would
storytelling
keep meaning to
stuff.
try and do it now and rewatch it, because there are some good stuff in those first few seasons, and try and stick with it. And their character development's always been quite good,
Yeah.
especially in the early seasons. Like the Carol from where she started to where she probably ended
absolutely. Yeah.
is
Completely
insanely
different.
good.
She's full on Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, done.
Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to ask you about this as well.
I mean, I really enjoyed them.
Rich, I think it's better than the movies.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I thought you were going to say you hated them, but
No, I found it quite watchable, quite fun.
yeah, I enjoyed
Like
it too.
small doses.
Little, yeah,
It's
20
the
minutes.
way forward with that character for me, not 2-hour films.
Well, you watched all 6. It basically was a 2-hour film. So
I know, but I didn't have to watch them all in a row.
I enjoyed it. My son enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. We all just enjoyed it.
Yeah,
you know?
it was a nice continuation of that story of the Santa Clauses, and it had all the characters back. When I say I had them all, I had Tim Allen and the wife, and then Bernard.
And Bernard
turned up.
Back,
that was nice.
Yeah.
And
didn't have Curtis from Santa Claus 2.
maybe the next series. They've already announced it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, maybe.
Which I guess we're getting next Christmas now. Because you can't release this in the summer.
No, that'd be weird. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Like wearing a Christmas jumper when it's nearly January. Which I'm doing at
Yes. No, but you can still be wearing that now. It's still...
Yeah.
I think it's still classed as Christmas until maybe tomorrow or the 30th. Anything else?
Willow?
Yes. Okay, I haven't watched this yet. Is it worth my time, Rich? Sell it to me in a minute. Go.
So far, I'm enjoying it. I think that there are people who have had problems with it. I've seen mixed things. I think that if you are a fan of the first Willow movie, and then you will like it. I understand there is a bit of criticism about Warwick Davis's portrayal of Willow and just his acting abilities, maybe. And I think he gets better. I think the first one feels a little bit like panto-y.
Do you feel like he's struggling to find that character again?
I think so. I think he was struggling to find the character again, and it was a bit hammy in the first episode and a bit. But I think at this point, I think he's caught. He's caught up, and it feels better. So the last episode I watched definitely felt stronger. So I'm looking forward to the rest. Because
back in the day, Lewis Arnold, brilliant director, his dream pick for a sequel was a Willow sequel.
Yeah.
I might text him and see if he's watched it.
Obviously, there's no Mad Martigan because Val Kilmer's still quite ill.
Yes.
And he was scheduled to come back for the series in some formats, but with COVID happened and stuff, and he couldn't kind of.
Do you think it's going to warrant a second series?
Oh, well, I think there's already going to be a second series.
Okay, good.
There is Val's supposed to be coming back for the second series, so there is. Although they have replaced him quite well, I think, with a Mad Martigan-esque character.
Okay, and how many episodes deep is it now?
But shady. I think 6.
And how many do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. I need to look that up. I've watched 5, so there's one more. I think there's another one to watch.
Okay. And does it feel like it's wrapping up or just getting going?
Feels like it's just getting going. So we'll see.
I haven't watched the end of Andor yet, but way behind.
Wow, you're way behind.
Yes, I am. I am very much enjoying it. Again, it's just finding time at the moment. I'm happy to report there is more of that coming. And what I've watched, I've just done the big breakout episode. So I'm about 2-3 behind, I think.
Yeah.
It's not many. But I'm loving that Star Wars. We're getting to see more of the universe without seeing certain Skywalkers pop up left, right, and centre. And it's just really pleasant. And I'm going to be the first one to admit that when they announced this as a TV series, I thought, why? And now I think, why to the rest of them compared to this one?
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to Mandalorian season 3 coming up this year.
Oh yes. So
I love Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. My son's getting into The Mandalorian as well, so
good.
One to watch together. Something that I've binged watched and because on BBC iPlayer is the 3rd series of His Dark Materials.
I see. I've tried watching this and I just can't get into it. I've tried the first season.
Yeah, I always loved the books. The books are like my Harry Potter, essentially.
All right,
people really love Harry Potter. I really loved His Dark Materials. And the stories are very complex and very hard to make into a movie, hence the movie flopping. But I think they've done it quite well. I think they've done it reasonably well in the TV show. I think it's still a bit muddled in places. And I think if you have to give it time, it's not really one. It feels like it should be for kids, but I don't think it is. I think you should.
I didn't get that from the 34 episodes I watched.
No, you've got to give it your full attention. It's not one to watch where you're playing your phone or you're doing something else. It's one you really have to concentrate on because you have to understand these.
And has that ended now?
Deep motivations, yes. Well, I mean, unless they're doing like some of the other stories, but yeah, the Lyra kind of story is over. It's done in terms of the books.
Because I remember on the first series on the BBC got a really big ta-da, we've got Dark Materials. And I feel like the last season, I don't know if they haven't been as popular as they thought.
No, I think it makes sense because the first book is the
Golden
most
Compass, right?
accessible. The Golden Compass, yeah.
Which I've seen the original film with Nicole Kidman and that one.
Yeah, so that's the most accessible. And the second book, The Subtle Knife, is a bit more complex. Then The Amber Spyglass, which is the third book in this third series, is like, it's like, I'm going to read that chapter again just to make sure I understand it.
Oh, okay.
That kind of complexity.
Can I watch the third series without watching the first two series? Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Just checking. Bugger.
No, you'll have to go back to the start. Definitely.
I'm not gonna.
You should. It's worth it. There are only
No,
6
I tried. I
episodes.
really tried, but it didn't grab me.
No,
So.
you won't get it at all. So yeah, don't.
Anything else? Did you watch?
Yeah, a
finish?
couple of Christmas specials. Detectorists Christmas special, which
Enjoy
I
that?
really love. I really love it. I love Detectorists so much. It makes me feel happy inside. It makes me want to chuck in my job and go and live in the countryside and metal detect. You know, it's just,
Sounds like a good life.
It does. Yeah, it's just lovely. It's a brilliant. It's a lovely Christmas special. It's well written. It's really good. And again, it has a kind of little, something to teach you in it as well. It's nice.
Is it as good as the Ghost Christmas special, which I enjoyed? And
I think the Ghost Christmas special was really, really good.
a lump in my throat by the end of that one.
I understand that. The Ghost Christmas special was really, really good. Yeah, absolutely. I'd put them on a par. I'd say they're on a level.
Are there any other Christmas specials?
There's been loads of Christmas specials. I've just not watched them all. There's loads more I need to watch. So there's I did watch the Great Christmas Bake Off.
Me too, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I thought that was quite fun.
Filmed in a heat wave.
Yeah, filmed in a heat wave. There's I haven't watched the, what do you call it? What am I thinking of?
I've no idea.
The other Christmas special, the Doc Martin Christmas special.
Well, I've no
and I
idea
haven't
about
watched the Bad Education Christmas special or the Call the Midwife.
I watched the reunion of Bad Education.
Is that what it is, the reunion one?
Yeah, just to see Ethan Lawrence pop up again, and I was happy to report he's in it because we talked about it to him about reappearing in it.
Yeah, and he wasn't sure.
Wasn't sure because I think he was a busy man with horrible histories, but they made it work. And that again, that's a passing of the torch thing.
Yeah,
what we spoke about earlier.
And Call the Midwife Christmas special as well. I have
no idea what you're talking about when you say that. That's not mine.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's quite cute. That's a nice thing I watch with my wife. There's a couple of animated things as well, like the Smeds and the Smoos, Julia Donaldson thing, which my son really liked.
What about the other one? The boy, the fox, the
boy, the
horse,
mole, the fox, and the horse. I have not watched.
Beautiful animation.
Yeah.
I've got opinions.
Okay.
I can't talk. No, because you have to watch it first.
Okay. All right then. I'll watch it.
But it's quite.
My
sweet.
wife really likes the artist, the who draws, the illustrator who draws all that
my
stuff.
wife does as well. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll probably watch it. But
cool.
Yeah, heartfelty Christmas stuff doesn't always land with me.
No, I thought this kind of landed quite well, but I have opinions about what they're trying to say or do. Anything else before we go on to release calendar?
I think that's it for me.
We will probably wrap up a bit about TV in next week's big wrap up of the year.
Whoa, yeah, big wrap up of the year.
Spoiler: I don't think it's been great.
Spoiler, I'm going to forget someone that we've had on our interview episodes this year.
Absolutely. I know I also mean the big wrap-up special of our top 3 sequels and are the ones that have disappointed us and the films we're most looking forward to in 2023. That will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Also, a spoiler, most of those ones we're looking forward to in 2023 were the films we were looking forward to in 2022.
They've just been delayed.
They're delayed. But there are more. This year does look stocked. But coming up in January in the UK for release calendar, sequel-wise, let me go down the list and tell you there isn't any.
Oh, man. The sequel gods are really pissing on us at the moment, aren't they?
I'm sure some will appear on the online services. But yes, nothing is jumping out. I mean, we've got coming out A Man Called Otto, which is the Tom Hanks film. There is The Empire of Light, which is the new Sam Mendes, Olivia Colman film. The new Damien Chazelle film, Babylon, with Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, which everyone's got very split opinions about, from what I can tell. Some people think it's so bananas it works, and some people says it's rubbish. We've also got my favourite film that's come this year. I can't wait to watch, is Steven Spielberg's new film, The Fabelmans.
Oh, yeah.
Cannot wait to watch that. I know a lot of people have watched that and said it's good. And then we're into February, and we really are into award season now, so I have to try and fit as many of those films in as humanly possible. But I'm sorry, no sequels coming up on the IMDb release calendar, which is what I go by, and is probably wrong.
We'll work it out. It's all right. We'll work something out. It'll be fine. Wow,
that's really depressing that there's none. I'm sure so. Yeah,
there will be a roundup of Series 4, though, won't there? There'll be some best bits of Series 4.
As long as my hard drive turns up, yes. Otherwise, no chance. And can you see us out, please, Rich?
Yeah, of course. I suppose I probably should, shouldn't I? For the last time this year. Goodbye 2022. Hello 2023. All the possibilities.
I mean, I'm still not sure what happened to 2020 or 2021 at this point, but...
Yeah, it's still 2020, right?
Yeah. On the 2019, please.
Yeah. Well, if you've enjoyed this rambly roundup of December, then do go back and listen to all our other episodes, especially the ones we talked about in this one, and all our interviews. Series 4 is now done. There's also Series 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, what more series?
Yeah, absolutely. Some brilliant guests. I mean, if you've been really enjoying Sean Walsh in the Jungle, you should hear him. You should hear him on our podcast, way back in episode 2 of Series 1. So go back and give that a listen. But yeah, whilst you're there, if you hit the little subscribe button and the auto download thingy, we will drop into your pod player of choice every single week. If you really like us, then please leave us a little rating, 5 stars, a tick, a heart, whatever it is you can do, and tap out a little review. Positive one would be nice, on Apple if you can. And if you really like us, we've mentioned this a couple of times in this episode, get yourself along to anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, and you can subscribe for extra content for $2.99 a month. Bargainous. We will be releasing a competition for you to win, so keep your eyes peeled on social media. That will be coming before the new year.
Yes. Rich is going to work out how to do it.
Oh yeah, I'm going to work out how to do it because Dave's just told me I am.
He's a smart one.
That will be becoming before the new year. Keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, just pay $2.99 a month. Just join us on Another Slice, and you'll get some extra bonus content, including a review of Glass Onion.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, you can also, if you completely understand if you can't do that, not everyone can afford that every month. But if you could pop along to say hello to us on social media, we'd really like that. We're on Twitter and Instagram @unequalsequel, and we're also unequalsequel@hotmail.com on the emails. Let us know what you thought. Let us know your monthly roundup of what you've been watching and what you think we should be watching. And we'll be back soon for another episode.
I listened to all of that one. Normally I turn off, but I was really concentrating. Great job.
I fumbled in the middle of that.
I did notice. Get in contact. Do what Rich said. Thank you very much for listening. You're all brilliant people. I'm really proud of you all. Thank you for sticking with us for a whole year. So we've now been going for literally a year and a half, 18 months, I think.
More than that, isn't it?
Well, we started in June.
Did we?
Yeah.
Wow. Time flies, man.
I know, right? We've got some big plans coming up. Yeah, most of those are on Another Slice. So go check that out. I've got new music there. I'd really like someone to say, Dave, I love the music. I've got nothing else to say. You got anything else to say, Rich?
Nope, we're all good.
It is a nighty-night from me and a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
Get those sparklers ready, guys. It's the new year soon. Light them up. What are you doing for New Year's?
Hiding. Because I don't like happy people. No, we don't do anything for New Year. We just stay at home, watch the Big Fat Quiz of the Year, and
get a little bit drunk.
Yeah, that gets stuck into the Baileys.
Talking about Baileys, I'm going to go and have one.
Nice.
I'll see you later.